Hello everyone, today I'll be sharing with you a bit of my personal life. Many people who know me, especially my workmates and friends, ask why I am frugal. Why I always prioritize saving rather than keeping up with trends or buying expensive personal items like clothing or bags, even though they know I can now afford them. For instance, since moving to Canada and earning dollars, I haven't yet bought a bag for myself. The one I use daily for work or going anywhere is simply a backpack. That was a freebie when we bought a netbook in the Philippines 6 years ago. I love it because it's practical, handy, and serves its purpose. The truth is, my frugality isn't about the money itself. It's about my journey and the lessons I've learned along the way. I grew up in the Philippines in a very poor family, living in a tiny shanty made from weaved coconut leaves. The shanty was very small, about 3 square meters by 3 square meters, that it resembled like a children's playhouse. That whenever it rained, it felt like the rain poured directly into our home because there were holes in every inch of the roof and the walls. This is the kind of environment where my siblings grew up, facing poverty every single day. Both my parents were unemployed, and with 10 children to care for, life was a constant struggle. Rice, which is a staple food in our country, was a luxury we couldn't even afford. We survived on root crops, and there were many days we barely had enough to eat. Poverty took a devastating toll on our family. My mother had 4 children out of wedlock, one of whom passed away. She didn't have the means to raise them, so she had to ask others to adopt them. I know it was a heart-wrenching decision for her, for sure, but she had no choice. After marrying my father, my mother had 6 more children, and 3 of whom passed away. In total, 4 out of her 10 children passed away, all because of poverty. They became sick, but we couldn't afford medical checkups, so their illnesses were never diagnosed or treated. 3 of them were just babies, and the 4th was my eldest sibling who passed away at the age of 11. My mother also endured her own health challenges. During my childhood, I was in grade 2 when she became gravely ill. For a year, she was bloated, pale, and struggled to breathe. When she started bleeding for a month, we thought that we're gonna lose her. But with no money for doctors or medicine, there was nothing we could do except to pray. Miraculously, she recovered, a moment we saw as a divine intervention. By the time I was 12 years old and in grade 5, I knew I had to step up. While attending school, I worked as a housemaid to support not just my own education, but also to support my family's needs. I became a breadwinner at an age when most children still depends on their parents. And that role has continued to this day. I was determined to finish my studies because I want to lift my family out of poverty and help my sister graduate from college. After becoming a teacher, I financed my own graduate studies while also supporting my sister through university. On top of that, I had to send financial support to my parents bi-monthly since they had 0 income. Family emergencies, especially medical ones, hospital bills, medications, and other urgent needs. It was always up to me to handle them. These responsibilities taught me that there was no one else to rely on but myself. One particular incident stays with me. This happened when I was 18 years old. I was then in Cebu. Cebu is another province in the Philippines that required a ship journey to reach there from my hometown or from my own province. I had to run away from my employers for some personal reasons I won't discuss here out of respect because we're now in good terms. During that time, I was completely alone with no money and no food. For days, I didn't eat because I didn't have money until eventually my landlady found me unconscious in my room out of starvation. And these experiences shaped the way I live my life today. Frugality for me isn't about deprivation, it's about survival, responsibility, and love. I've learned to value every cent I earn, to spend wisely, and to save because I know the pain of not having enough when it matters most. My family depends on me, and I can't afford to be unprepared. This is why I prioritize saving over spending on luxury things or trends. Living frugally reminds me of where I came from, and it allows me to be there for my family no matter what challenges come our way. It's a necessity rooted in love, resilience, and hope. It can be a sacrifice sometimes, but it gives me joy knowing that I think I'm doing the right thing for me and for my loved ones. And hey, if you're still listening to me up to this part, thank you so much. I hope it inspired you, and if it did, please don't forget to like this video and please subscribe to this channel for more content like this. Again, thank you. Bye.